Hello, everybody, and welcome to your daily update on the progress for the History for Ukraine 24-hour speakathon, raising money for the DEC/Red Cross to help the people in Ukraine. Um, so, QR code, that way. QR code is up. You feel that way. Feel free. You can see I'll never get a job in Blue Peter, will I? Um, Feel free to start donating before the event. Test out that QR code, make sure that it's working for you. Um, so, a update on where we are today. Just to reiterate, the dates confirmed are we are going to be running the live event, live streaming it across social media on the 26th and 27th of March in UK time, so midday UK time on the 26th to 1 p.m. on the 27th. I am aware couple of people emailed me and said you are aware that the clocks change in the UK and some parts of Europe um, over that weekend. And yep, I am, thanks to John on our working group who twigged that pretty quickly and helped us create a spreadsheet to kind of deal with those time changes. So yep, don't worry, I am aware that 2 o'clock in the morning UK time our clocks spring forward. So I have exciting news. I think we've got about three-quarters of our speakers not only penciled into the time slots, but actually their times actually confirmed. So that's really exciting. I've also set up a little redirect. So if you go to www.historyforukraine.co/forward/live stream, that will take you to our YouTube channel. From there you can subscribe, and please not only subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then you will get notified as soon as we go live on the actual day of the event. I was hoping to live stream this update today into the new YouTube channel, just so there was a little bit of video there for people stumbling across it, but I've got to wait 24 hours again for something to be switched on the back end, frustratingly. So good job I checked it though and didn't leave it until 24 hours before the actual event. So that's a plus side. Um, yeah, so we have lots of speakers confirmed now, and I'm going to run through some of the names. I'm going to leave off titles because I don't want to get anyone's title wrong, and I haven't got everybody's title written in my list. So lots of these people are professors and doctors, and I'm not trying to deliberately leave off their credentials. It's just for ease of reading, really, so I don't get anything wrong. So confirmed in the lineup, we have, kicking off at midday, Charles Spencer, who'll be talking about The White Ship, his book. And then we are going a little bit later. We've got somebody tentatively penciled in, and then the next slot that's confirmed is Charlotte Guthier. I'm really, really sorry if I'm saying your surname wrong. Who's going to talk about Beowulf, and then Susie Lennox on body snatching. We've got Janina Ramirez talking about women in history. We've got Sol David talking about the SBS Silent Warriors. We've got Kirstine McKenzie talking about myth busting the Jacobites. She sent me an email to say that fans of Outlander will love this talk, so that I think that will get lots of people excited. And then we've got Annette from Heritage Detectives talking about finding American Quaker records. We've got Sarah Wise talking about the Charles Booth maps. We've got Catherine Flynn talking about urban trauma and recovery. Then these are not the full titles either. This is just my quick and dirty schedule list that I'm reading out. So these will be much more exciting when you get to them in real life. And then we should have Blaine Bessinger talking about DNA. And then Julia Late talking about trafficking in times of conflict. Anyone who's on my Twitter feed will know that I'm a really big fan of her recent book, The Disappearance of Lydia Harvey. So I think we're in for a treat there. And then we've got Rebecca Riddell. And then we've got Nick Barrett. And then a little bit later, we've got Gabrielle Story talking about ruling sexualities, a history of the other in royal families. And then we've got, hopefully, Susanna. Just got to completely confirm what time she's coming on, but I know she is coming. Susanna Lipscomb, talking about how we can recover the lost lives of women. And then Kat Irving, who will be talking to us about surgery, and Charlotte Dodds Pennock, who'll be talking to us about the Indigenous American discovery of Europe. And then, and I'm sorry, I'm really rattling these off, but hopefully they're getting you as excited as I am. And then we've got Kate Williams talking about the Mary Queen of Scots. We've got Kate Lister, who's going to be talking to us about Victorian vibrators. Personally, I cannot wait to watch that. And then Nicola Tallis, and then Joshua Taylor in the USA talking about the power of family history and why. And apologies if I've just read your name and missed off your talk. It is because this is my scant schedule that I've got in front of me. And then just confirming the time, but we should have then Judy Russell talking about the rest of the story. The very best of genealogy is when we go beyond the records to tell the rest of the story. So, which I couldn't agree more. So I think that would be a fantastic talk. And then we've got Cheryl Hudson Pacey. And again, I really apologize if I say your name wrong. Off to America, finding living relatives. And then Michelle Chabenko, and again, apologies if I'm saying that wrong. We will make sure that all of these are right and that the hosts know everybody's names properly for the actual event. Talking about digital genealogy in Ukraine, and then just confirming the time. But then we should hopefully have Fiona Brooker talking about with a grain of salt and disproving in genealogy, and then Helen Good on the Globe Theatre and Star Chamber, and then Jane Persian and Kelly Cornwall are two of our other speakers. And then we've got a whole group of Australian speakers that I'm just firming up their times, but they are all penciled in. And then moving on to Dave Annell on fact and fiction in genealogy on the Sunday. Michelle Patient in New Zealand talking about a stitch through time. She's in Australia, and then at in the morning, still on the Sunday, we'll have Deborah Suggs Ryan, Nathan Amen, and then Tracy Borman and Fern Riddle, with a few names in between as well that I am just firming up their time slots for. So I think you can, I think as you can tell from my whirlwind tour of names and badly said titles there, one, I'm tired again, and two, that it's just a really exciting lineup. I mean, just wow. I think we're covering everything from genealogy to Victorian vibrators to Shakespeare in the Globe Theatre to Charles Booth's maps to World War II to the Jacobites. It's just what a broad range of historians that have come forward and genealogists and offered their time, and what an amazing chance to learn about something completely new as well, and not necessarily watch talks that you would perhaps traditionally go for as well. So you've got the kind of bonus of perhaps tuning into something that you're 100% definitely interested in, perhaps your genealogy topics that will help you, and catching a talk on something completely different and completely new to you, and having that learning experience. So I personally can't wait. I think I might actually be up for 24 hours at this rate with that lineup. So that's where we are today. Almost all the speakers confirmed. I think probably tomorrow, if not the next day, I will definitely be emailing volunteer hosts and volunteers. So volunteers on the tech side and volunteers on the social media side. So please do keep checking your spam folders. When I'm sending emails, I'm trying to also follow up by sending people Twitter messages if I haven't heard from them within a day or two. So keep an eye on those as well. We've also had some fantastic movement on our website. So Laura, and I just want to make sure that I get your name right, Laura Hedgecock, who kindly sprang forward at the 11th hour to help with the initial website build, has done a fantastic job. It's not quite live yet. She's literally just sent me the first draft. I've gone back and said, could you make the font a little bit bigger here and there, and then it should be up. So again, fingers crossed by tomorrow morning, or if you're watching this on any sort of replay, chances are that www.historyforukraine.co will no longer be a placeholder. It will actually have some proper text and some speaker names, and it will have instructions on how to follow the event, so you can start sharing it far and wide with everybody And I just wanted to say an important reminder as well that this event will probably be of interest to people who even just have like a fleeting interest in history. So people who don't necessarily work in it or aren't necessarily obsessed with it like me, but who do like watching the odd documentary or listening to the odd radio broadcast on a historical theme. Please don't forget to share it to your local Facebook groups, to your mum and toddler groups. Literally share it everywhere because the vast majority of people at least have some interest in history, I think. So it has got a wide reach. So, and obviously, the more eyeballs we can get on the day, the more money we can raise for the people in Ukraine, and we can get people hitting that. I'm never going to get that right, am I? You, look, ta-da, QR code. Yeah, which I'm also going to see if I can make a bit bigger. If you could let me know if you're finding that QR code a little bit small, that'd be helpful because I'll see if I can get it a little bit bigger for the day. Um, yeah, I think that's where we are. I cannot believe that less than 2 weeks after I sent this tweet round, so I think less than 10 days since I sent the tweet round, we have a schedule of almost 48 people um, in our diary, which is just absolutely incredible. We've also started reaching out to a couple of people about running satellite groups. So we've had a think, and we think these would be best taking place just after the main event. And like I mentioned before, they will be really specific topics or specific groups. So, for example, a satellite group, a pop-up event after the big main event on something like DNA or railways. But I'm sure there are many more little topics. So if you haven't been picked as a speaker, if by sort of the end of this week you haven't heard from me and you don't think you've been picked as a speaker and you are interested in running some sort of smaller live event with our support, then please do get in touch. Similarly, if you've been emailing me and I haven't replied for some reason, please don't be afraid to badger me on Twitter messages or to send me another email. I cannot tell you how busy the History for Ukraine inbox is. It's a bit mental, so it would be quite easy for me to have missed something. So yeah, please do feel free to resend. Um, I can see from the little countdown clock that I've been talking for a whole 12 minutes, which seems like an extraordinarily long time for me. So I'm gonna go get some rest, probably watch Coronation Street, try and switch off from History for Ukraine, probably fail miserably and end up back on the Twitter app. But I hope you enjoyed today's update. Thank you for everybody who's been sending sunflower images on Twitter. I would love to see some images of you holding sunflowers so I can include some of your faces. That would be fantastic. But I'm really, really grateful. You might find that somebody in the team private messages you just to get the appropriate kind of copyright language nailed down. But we really, really appreciate it. And on a personal note, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's working busily behind the scenes helping me to make this happen. It's just been probably one of the most incredible experiences of my life, to be quite honest. So I'm really, really grateful, really touched, and I know that what we're doing today will make a big difference. So thank you. And on that very serious note, I'm going to say good night. Good night.